Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about how to protect ourselves from fear and anxiety. Regular basis, every one of us experiencing some sort of fear and anxiety. Doesn't matter how big or small in the scale, the amount of fear, anxiety we experience. We need to know how to deal with this because it is so common that every single one of us are going through this, especially during this pandemic. Social media and people you talk to and everywhere you look, it is about fear and anxiety. It is about how we can create some sort of a chaos in this world. So it's really important that we know how to tune out from these things and keep our sanity to ourselves. So that's what we're going to talk about. Guys, my name is Saranga. Welcome to Blissful Creators, where we are regularly uploading videos that will help us to do life just a little better today than we did yesterday. At the end of the day, that is and that should be our goal, to do the life just even a 1% better today than we did yesterday. Back to how we can protect ourselves from fear and anxiety. First thing we can do is to tune ourselves from anything that creates us fear and anxiety. Recently, one of my clients told me that one of the TV series that she's watching is creating her a lot of anxiety. So as soon as you have some awareness that something is triggering you, this anxiety or fear about yourself or your future or your family's future, you need to stop that. It's simple as that. When you feel something, be respectful of that. Your body, your mind is trying to tell you something. So we just need to be aware enough, conscious enough to know exactly these triggers. Sometimes it takes time to figure out these triggers because it's not obvious. But as we become more sensitive, we will start to realize certain things. We can't watch it anymore in the TV. Some of the TV shows, I've given up all the TV shows or movies that creates anxiety in me. Any gory violence and anything that brings negativity and feelings of victim and feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, all of these things need to go, especially as you become more and more sensitive to life. You're going to feel these things even more depth than you used to feel these things. So as you become sensitive, as you become aware, it's important that we stop these things that creates us anxiety. So give up whatever it is, whether it is news or TV shows or talking to people with that victim mindhood, right? That you are going to stop these things so that you don't create more anxiety and fear than what it is you're already facing. So that's number one. And the next thing we can do is, if you have people in your life that's always bringing the talks of victimhood, sometimes you can't avoid these people because it could be they're your family members, they're your best friends, or they're your children or your spouse. You can't stop these people from talking to you because you have to learn to do the life with them harmoniously, right? Like, so when that happens, you need to figure out, how do I deal with this? So again, awareness comes in handy. So when you realize someone closer to you say something that brings you anxiety or negativity, you need to know how to separate yourself from what they're saying. So they can say all they want. That is their opinion, that is their ideas, that's what they believe in. That doesn't have to be yours. So you have your separate belief systems and your separate set of ideas and thoughts and energy and how you do the life, and you're going to create that by yourself. You don't need to, you can listen, but as you're listening, recognize it's theirs, it's not yours. And then another funny way of reacting to this is you can always say something like, oh, 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 is that so? You don't really get involved in that conversation, but if you must say something, you can just say something like, oh, oh. It's like, remember Cheerios? This is one of the videos that I watched from Michael Beckwith. He's saying that just say, remember Cheerios, like, oh, oh, oh. You don't have to get involved in that conversation, like in depth, giving your opinion and trying to prove a point, because whatever you do with emotions and feelings, and if you get involved, you're also making it yours. So make sure that just simply, oh, is that so? That's it, right? You just, and they might even get the point that, well, maybe they're not as you don't give in to it, they will probably stop that conversation. So that's how you can kind of make your point, not being involved in those type of communication, right? Third way of keeping our anxiety and fear under control, or how to handle it, is, let's say you need to figure out what's causing your anxiety. So for example, let's say I've been procrastinating on this new project that I need to do. Let's say you are procrastinating with something that you want to do. Chances are it's because of either fear or anxiety. So figure out, what is it? Is it studying for an exam, or is it getting your business going? Is it reaching out to a couple of clients and making some calls? Or is it working on your website, creating a marketing campaign? Or what is it that you're procrastinating? So write that down, because once you write that down, it's not as heavy on your mind or the body because it's on the paper. We're not forgetting it because it is on the paper, but at the same time, it's not weighing you down so much, because you can bring some consciousness, clarity to what's causing the fear, the anxiety. So once you have it written down, let's say in my case, building my website has been a problem because I've been taking more than the time, more than it requires, because it doesn't take that long, but I've been putting it off. Oh, finally I wrote it down. Building my website is what's causing me anxiety. Or even in that matter, thinking about it, it's creating anxiety and fear, because I don't trust the ability for myself to do it. So I write it down. Once you write it down, and then what you need to do after you write down, try to create very small bite-sized action steps. Like, for example, maybe gathering some information, the research. Like in my case, building website, look at few websites that I like to model, get some ideas, do some research. Just do it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So like a small bite-sized action step that I created, right? After that, then I wrote down the next step that maybe only take 10-15 minutes. So I can start I can start working on this project 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And chances are, once you start doing it, you're gonna keep going, because especially if you love doing it, you're going to keep doing it, right? It's just a matter of getting started when you're overwhelmed with fear and anxiety. So if you're studying for a test, you just have to write down, okay, I'm gonna read a study for 15 minutes. I'm gonna go through my notes for 15 minutes at a time. So if you like it, you keep doing it. If you don't like it, you stop it and go do something else, and then try for another 15 minutes. So step at a time, one little step at a time, we tackle these project. What I realized over the years of procrastinating, honestly, my reason behind procrastinating is not believing in myself, and not believing in myself, and feeling of overwhelm and fear, and without trusting that I have the skills or I have the resources to figure it out how to do it. I mean, these are all really lies because you can work on all of these things. You can study the skills, you can gain the skills. There's so much resources out there. You always have everything you need. You just have to look for it. You just have to get the resources you need. It's within us. It's all around us. Universe is ever growing, ever expanding. It's almost like we're living in a field of blessings, never ending, constantly expanding blessings. So in a place like this, we can never go backward if we keep working on it, if we trust and believe and take these small steps. We're going to continuously grow and get towards our goals. So first, be aware of what's causing you anxiety and fear. So cut down all of those things. And when it comes to people, do not get involved in these conversations that is increasing your fear and anxiety, and that pushing you towards these drama and keep you entangled in these things. So make sure you do not involved in it. You may not have to cut all these conversations or people off of your life, because sometimes it's impossible, because these are the people we love, right? And then thirdly, make sure what if there are actions or things that you think about that brings you fear, whether it's public speaking or whatever it is that you need to do in life, write it down. Once you write it down, it becomes so much easier. Contemplate on what you write down. Is this really that scary? Is it really impossible? Because once you put your mind into it, once you believe you can, if your mind can conceive something, you can achieve. There's no question in that. Your mind will never be able to conceive something that you cannot achieve, that you do not have the resources within you, around you. So if you can conceive, you can achieve. This is not something I said. I don't remember who said it. It is a quote that I took it to my heart and I live by. So make sure you do these steps. This will definitely help you to keep your anxiety and fear under control. And hopefully there'll be a day that when you feel some fear and anxiety, you're like, yes, it is really exciting to feel these feelings, because it shows the growth. It shows that you're changing. It shows that you're pushing yourself towards something bigger than you were yesterday. And in this life, that's all we can hope for, we can do. And alrighty, I hope you got something awesome out of this video. Make sure to hit the like button below, comment below, and let me know where you're tuning from. It's always nice to know. Make sure to subscribe, and if you are new to this channel, welcome, and make sure to hit the subscribe button and also the bell sign next to it, so you're not going to miss any of this great content. And together we can build a better world. Until next time, namaste.